What exactly is going on with electric cars, with adoption, what will happen over the next 3 years between now and 2025. Hello, my friends. Here is what I think is going to happen over the next 3 years in the world global car industry. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Great to have you here. And I'm going to share with you an article from The Electric, and then I'm going to tell you my opinion on it. First thing I'm going to say is it is wrong. I don't think they've done their numbers. But anyway, here's what Michelle Lewis from The Electric has to say. Bloomberg today released its 7th annual electric vehicle outlook. The study makes longer-term predictions, and here's where its researchers think electric vehicle adoption is going between now and 2025. The number of consumers looking to buy EVs globally has hit 52%, according to the latest EV Mobility Consumer Index. This is the first time 50% has been exceeded. This represents a rise of 22 percentage points in just 2 years. I reported on this fact about a week ago. This is a game changer. This means public perception has entirely changed over the last 12 months when it comes to what vehicle people want next. What does this mean? Trends usually follow a similar pattern. Disruptions follow a similar pattern too. We'll get to that in just a second. Bloomberg's findings are consistent with the EV study. Bloomberg NEF says that electric vehicle adoption will continue to rise sharply to 2025 as global policy pressure grows. More EV models become available, particularly those from China, which are affordably priced, and consumer interest continues to increase. Bloomberg NEF predicts that plug-in electric vehicle sales will rise from 6 million in 2021 to 21 million in 2025. Plug-in vehicles are predicted to make up 23% of new passenger vehicle sales globally in 2025. That's up from an increase of just under 10% in 2021. 3/4 will be fully electric. So basically, Bloomberg NEF is saying that only around 17% of all cars sold globally in 2025 will be fully electric. Do you agree with this? Yeah, I think this is frankly, utterly bogus and mental. The researchers don't see plug-in hybrids gaining a significant market share of the market outside Europe, and they expect them to peak globally around 2026. Personally, I believe plug-in hybrids have already peaked, and from the numbers I've seen, sales are going down, not up. So I'm not sure where they're getting that data from. Fuel cell vehicles are expected to increase slightly due to a push in China. I'm not seeing that push anyway, but overall will have no meaningful impact in the passenger vehicle segment. So why are so many companies still investing into fuel cell vehicles? It's a complete waste of money and resources. I don't understand it. The study says that EV adoption will vary in every country. I mean, that's obvious, right? EV share of sales in some markets will be higher, with EVs reaching 40% of sales in 2025 in China and Europe. I mean, those are the two biggest car markets worldwide. Germany, the UK, and France are predicted to reach between 40 to 50% in 2025. I think these numbers are complete and utter malarkey. They're ridiculous. I mean, come on. Germany, the UK, and France will get closer, much closer to 70+% by 2025. So all this means that China and Europe, just those two places, will account for 80% of EV sales in 2025. But adoption will be much lower in the rest of the world. What about the US? Well, the US market is forecast to be a massive laggard. Bloomberg says it will pick up from 2023, but will still only represent 15% of the global electric vehicle market in 2025. I think this could not be more wrong. The EV study noted that consumers in Australia, 38%, and the US, 29%, are the least committed to switching to EVs. This is completely bogus. Totally false. Totally false. What about internal combustion engines? Where will they go? Bloomberg NEF says that the rising cost of batteries will not derail near-term EV adoption. Its researchers say some of the factors that are driving high battery raw material costs, war, inflation, trade, friction, are also pushing the price of gasoline and diesel to record highs, which is driving more consumer interest into EVs. Internal combustion engine vehicles are also becoming more expensive to produce. The acceleration in EV adoption means that combustion vehicle sales peaked globally in 2017 and are now in a permanent, continual decline. I like hearing that. I agree. By 2025, passenger internal combustion engine sales are 19% below their 2017 peak. I believe that figure will be closer to 40% below their 2017 peak. This 19% figure is ridiculous. Managing the decline while investing in the future is a major challenge for some legacy automakers. So the Bloomberg researchers feel that the most important factor to note is the market shifting from being driven by policy to being driven by consumer demand. They point out that supply is now a greater constraint than demand in most markets, and until automakers can start to produce EVs at a scale and a price range that meets this demand alongside the charging infrastructure for those new cars, a large number of consumers will have to wait a few years, but not much longer, to drive electric cars. Now, it's important to remember, right now we are at 15% globally. We're nearly at where this ridiculous Bloomberg study predicts we'll be at in 2025. So, in other words, they're saying almost nothing is going to happen in the next 3 years. This is insane. It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. What's really going to happen? Well, from the 15% we're at now globally, we'll likely hit 20+% in a single month this year alone. We'll break this record that Bloomberg is saying we won't hit until 2025 this year. We'll probably hit the figure in this survey of 23% for plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars the first quarter of 2023. By 2025, globally, this figure will be in the high 40s, potentially even in the 50s. In Europe, it'll be at least 70+%. Across the entire continent, in China, the same thing. 60 to 70+% in China as well. This, my friends, is the Osborne effect in action. I've made a lot of predictions on this channel. I've gotten a few wrong. Most of them I've gotten right. I think it's fair to say, right, that it's over for internal combustion engine vehicles. That time has gone. I think governments are having a direct effect on some of this change. Governments in China and Europe are definitely helping this to happen. So that's an important part to consider. So therefore, it's important to consider what just happened in China, right? No one's talking about this. Nobody is talking about this. What just happened in China over the last week? Chinese government came out and said something and no one talked about it. I can't understand why. They said they are going to push EV adoption in regional areas in China by subsidizing them more heavily in those areas. They're going to subsidize affordable EVs in regional places. You know where most people live in China? Regional areas. More than 700 million people live in regional areas in China. EV adoption in China will go through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. EVs in China could account for just 23% of global electric vehicle sales in 2025 alone by themselves. I mean, Bloomberg NEF continually gets the predictions wrong because they continually understate what happens. You know why? Human beings find it hard to understand mentally the maths that goes on with disruption. Technological disruptions happen at a similar rate every single time, and it's much, much faster than Bloomberg is predicting. But let me know in the comment section below what you think will happen over the next 3 years. Let me know what you think. I want to know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.